What are the components required for an explosion?
So you've got three main ones. Of course, you need a fuel. You need a fuel source. It's kind of like the old fire triangle, if you will.
Hmm.
And that fuel, yes, could be gasoline, as many people initially think of it, as internal combustion engines. But it's a substance that will undergo that chemical reaction, and it could be a liquid like gasoline. It could also be a vapor. It could also be a solid substance. So if we think like a wood burning fire, right, that's the fuel source, if you will, for that. Now, of course, you need the fuel source, but you also need like an oxidizer, which is what's providing essentially the oxygen. So if you snuff out the oxygen, that's what a lot of fire extinguishers do, and that will basically break the triangle, and that will, of course, extinguish the fire. So you need the fuel source. You also need it to be fed with oxygen. Now, this can be important for looking at fires in, say, a room. Do a little lab where, okay, are the doors open or were the windows open? How does that change the dynamics of the explosion or the fire, if you will? That fuel source is constant, whether the doors or windows are open or closed, but that oxygen, that amount of oxygen that can come in, definitely changes. And that's really what causes the fuel source to combust. In some cases, it could contain, adding more oxygen. In this case, where you're having a door or window open, if it's closed, you're a little bit more isolated. You have more limited oxidizer. In addition, you also need an ignition source because, as you know, we've got things that can burn in all of our rooms right now. We've got oxygen in the room, but we don't have fire. We don't have that ignition source, and that's really what's triggering or starting that reaction. And that could be, a spark. That could be a really hot surface if you get a electrical that's basically sparking or generating a lot of heat. Could potentially even be pressure as well. So those are the three main things: the fuel source, a source of oxygen, and really an ignition source is the three things that you need.